Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
On Wednesday, in its April Monetary Policy Review, the RBI introduced a new instrument in its toolkit. It introduced something which is its own version of a quantitative easing program. Now, in quantitative easing, we've seen advanced countries buy assets. They buy government securities, they buy bonds of other companies, banks, private bonds as well. Here in India, the RBI announced its Government Securities Acquisition Program 1.0, in which in the secondary market, it will buy government securities. Note, only government securities, not others. In this, in the first quarter, it has already announced that it will buy 1 lakh crore worth of government securities. Now, normally what happens is that there is an open market operation which gets conducted, which includes buying and selling of government securities. And this is something that the RBI could have done in any case. It could have gone ahead and buy this. So what was the point of announcing that it is making a commitment to buy 1 lakh crores of government securities? The point primarily was to calm down bond markets. Now, we've been seeing all over the world what has been happening is that with governments borrowing more thanks to the pandemic, with expenditures increasing, revenues contracting, government borrowing across the world has suddenly increased very sharply. Today, according to the IMF's World Economic Outlook, just announced 2 days ago, the total level of debt to GDP globally is 100%. This is not something that was happening in normal years. Now, in India too, we have suddenly increased the amount of government borrowing, and as a result of that, markets were demanding higher yields, and bond markets were not comfortable with lending to the government at the rates of interest at which the government wanted to borrow. By trying to say, okay, there will be enough liquidity in the market, we are making a commitment to buying government securities of this magnitude, 1 lakh crore magnitude, in the coming quarter. The RBI has tried to assure markets that there will be adequate liquidity in markets. And by doing this, it is actually performing its role both as the monetary policy authority and as the debt manager of the government, because it's trying to keep interest rates low while, as monetary policy authority, it has said, the MPC in its meeting said that interest rates would remain unchanged, that the repo rate would remain where it was, but at the same time, it would have accommodative policies. So there would be liquidity in the market. And this is the basic thing that happened. And let's now look at what was the impact of this announcement on bond markets. Now, to some extent, bond yields came down because markets did calm down a little, but then it had another interesting effect, and that is the effect it had on exchange rates. To understand the effect of exchange rates, in our column this week, my colleague Radhika Pandey and I have talked about how the fact that the US Fed is indicating that growth in the US will be high and that they may move back to higher rates, while in India, we are indicating that we will have lower rates. This has basically meant that the direction of capital flows, which has so far been towards India, might reverse. And with this expectation, the exchange rate has actually depreciated. So it depreciated by a little more than 1.5% after the announcement of the Reserve Bank of India. So in our column, we explain how the interest differential has moved so that the exchange rate has depreciated in India, and the interest differential is actually against India in that sense. The concern is something like what happened during the time of the taper tantrum. Because during the time of the taper tantrum, the US had indicated that after it had done quantitative easing for a very long time, it had kept interest rates low, it would start hiking rates. It didn't exactly say when. Ben Bernanke did not indicate when it would happen, but just the indication that rates would go up had meant that US rates would go higher. And when bond markets see US rates go higher, where actually the risk is low because in dollar terms, their returns are more assured at those rates. And here there's always a risk of currency depreciation. And in dollar terms, the risk is always higher when you are investing in an emerging economy. So the risk on, risk off changed, and with higher US rates, money moved back. That didn't actually happen, but a very small, I would say, glimmer of that could be seen in what happened after the monetary policy announcement this week. And that was that the rupee suddenly depreciated when it saw this happen. Now, looking forward, the RBI is going to have to worry about how it finds the right balance between its role as a debt manager and keeping the yields on government securities low on the one hand, and on the other, how it is going to control inflation. Now, in its inflation control, it has to also worry about whether the currency will depreciate, because we've seen pressures globally on inflation, and these pressures recently have been coming from rise in commodity prices. And India is a commodity importer. Rupee depreciation also means that you could have higher commodity prices and higher inflation. And now that the government has said that the RBI has to stick to its target of 4% with a band of ±2, then RBI does have to keep in mind the inflation rate, while at the same time being trying to manage, trying to keep the interest burden of the government low, even though the government is borrowing a much larger amount than it had anticipated. Next week, I'll take questions on this and much more. We'll have an interactive session. But from this week onwards, Ilanomics is going to be just telling you and talking about the column. And I hope you'll go back and read the column. The link will be given below, and that you'll come back next week with lots of questions. Thank you.